1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And first, I'd like to acknowledge all the amazing women that serve in our nation's military and the mothers that serve in our nation's military. But I'd like to respond to something I heard a few minutes ago here.
That sounds like a nice thing for Marjorie Taylor Greene to say. Wonder where she's going with it.
The pronouncement, the actual statement that abortion is women's health care. I would like to state for the record, abortion is not health care in any way. Abortion is the murder of the unborn child in a woman's womb. Abortion is defined as taking a life. It doesn't save a life. It kills a life.
I want to acknowledge the amazing women and mothers of the military, but only if you agree with me, because I know what's best for you. You shouldn't have a right to choose. I'll tell you what you should do. And it gets worse. Watch her.
This type of funding, $86 million, again, should not go towards educating people about gender and gender bias, educating people about their skin color, educating people about how they think unconsciously without knowing how they think. These are the type of woke ideologies that divide and separate Americans, and veterans could care less about.
Unthink unconsciously without knowing how they think? What? Basically, she wants to keep people uneducated so they believe in things like this.
You have the weaponization committee, and all the Democrats are outraged at Bobby Kennedy because he's talking about the very real possibility that COVID-19 could have been engineered to target people by race. And so the Democrats are trying to censor him. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, just maybe an hour ago, was trying to completely shut him down and censor his speech.
So there you have it. Marge is upset that the Democrats were holding Bobby Kennedy Jr. responsible for the statements he made where this video had come out. You should watch the video if you haven't, where he basically is saying that COVID-19 might have been engineered to go after white people and black people, and the most immune people to it were Ashkenazi Jews as well as Chinese. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who is a member of Congress who's Jewish out of Florida, basically held him responsible for those statements. Again, you should watch that video. It's a good video to watch because she says, you know, your words have repercussions. And here's the thing, people. I'm not a scientist. I haven't done a study. I don't know who was affected more or less. I've heard Bobby Kennedy Jr. say that the Chinese had less deaths from coronavirus. I don't know if that's true or not. I know that China famously keeps their data close to their chest. I think Russia does the same thing. A lot of these dictatorial countries do that. They don't share the data. So I don't know how many people died in China from COVID. I don't know how many people died that were Jewish or black or white or what. But Bobby Kennedy says this in a video, and all the conspiracy theorists jump on it and they go, there you go. This is all the Jews and the Chinese getting together to come after us. Now, that is dangerous rhetoric. Again, I'm all for discussing possibilities that the Chinese might have been developing COVID in a lab and it leaked, and who knows, we haven't figured out where it originally came from yet. But when you have Bobby Kennedy, who's a known conspiracy theorist, come out and say that it was the Jews and the Chinese who benefited from releasing COVID on the rest of the world, you're going to have all these numbnuts out there going, well, you see, I told you the Jews are running the world, and the Chinese, and da-da-da-da. And then you get Marjorie Taylor Greene defending the guy. It's very ironic that the Republicans, the conspiracy theorist Republicans in particular, are now supporters of Robert Kennedy Jr., which tells you a lot about the reality, the potential of Bobby Kennedy Jr. actually winning the Democratic nomination, which is not high at all. So the dangers we're facing, you guys, this is the problem. Marge goes out there and she spews all this stuff. She says, I respect the women of the military, but you don't have any rights to abortion, which a lot of the women in the military, there's women that we have a lower amount of people joining the military now because they don't want to lose that right or that choice to choose. So she's speaking for them based on her religion. And that's dangerous. When you impose your religion on me or on others, That's no bueno, right? She wants less funding for education because it's not good to educate people about other people who are transgender or other people who are black. We shouldn't learn about black history. We shouldn't learn about gender equality, any of that stuff. It's not good, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Once again, this is somebody who is supposed to be all about Jesus, but is completely intolerant. It's her way or the highway. And lastly, here she is defending Robert Kennedy Jr. because she's the same person who talked about the Jewish lasers and all the other crazy conspiracy stuff. So we're living in a world of wackos. And so what we need to do, people, is make sure you register to vote. Make sure you vote. Make sure you take your mother, your father, your grandfather, your cousin, your grandmother. You take everybody. And you go and vote. And you vote for people who have some sense of reality. The fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene is in Congress blows my mind every time. Out of 330 million people in America, the best we could do is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Come on, America. You can do better. I'm Maz Jobrani. I got a special on YouTube. It's called The Birds and the Bees. I'm a comedian, so watch it. Hopefully it makes you laugh. And vote. Bye.